Hey guys, welcome back to the Way of Truth Tarot. For those of you who are just joining us, my name is Mandy, and today is going to be part 13 in the Delphi Deep Dive. And what I'm going to be doing in this reading is looking at the events that happened on February 12th, 2025. So Andrew Baldwin, who is one of Rick Allen's attorneys, defense attorneys, met with an inmate by the name of, I'm hearing different ways this guy's first name is being pronounced. I've heard Ricky. I've heard Ricci. And what I think it is, because this first name is spelled exactly the way the Italian last name is spelled. And how you pronounce that is Ricci. Okay? And I know this because I had a landlord by the name of that last name, as well as the actress Christina Ricci. So I am pretty sure that with this name, you would pronounce the double C as CH. So Ricci. I believe that his name is Ricci Davis. Not Ricci, not Ricky, but Ricci. I know it's an unconventional English way of spelling the name, but it is Italian. I don't know if he is Italian, but I know that this way he is spelling his name is the way the Italians spell that surname. They just pronounce it Ricci. Whereas, like I said, I believe that it is actually Ricci. Okay. Now that I cleared that up, because honestly, it's been kind of bothering me. So I just wanted to put it out there that is my opinion. And anyway, whatever. I digress. So, there was documents that Andrew Baldwin released to the courts. And they were based on what he learned on February 12th of 2025. So not that long ago, last month. He met with Ricci Davis at Newcastle Correctional Facility in Indiana. And Ricci Davis informed Mr. Baldwin of the following. Okay, and I wrote this all down, copied it word for word, because I couldn't find where I could download the actual document. So I watched an episode of the Defense Diaries that attorney Bob Motta and his wife host. It's a podcast. And they had the document up, and I literally paused it at each frame so I could write all of this down. So that is where I got this information. This is written down word for word from that document. So Ricci Davis informed Mr. Baldwin of the following. A. Ricci Davis was in the unique position of having met both Kegan Kline and Ron Logan during their stays at Newcastle Correctional Facility. B. Ricci Davis talked with Ron Logan about the Delphi murders. I'm not allowed to say that word, oh well. On multiple occasions, over the course of time, Ron Logan confessed to his involvement in the unalivings along with two other people. C. During these conversations, Logan provided certain details of the crime that only the actual unaliver would know, but never divulged who the other two people were. D. In or around March 2024, so last year, Kegan Kline was placed in some sort or in the same general area as Ricci Davis. And at some point, apparently learned that Ricci Davis had spoken to Ron Logan while Logan was incarcerated. Over time, Kline began questioning Ricci Davis if Logan ever mentioned Kline's name to Davis during him and Ron's conversations. F. Ricci began to realize that Kline may be one of the other two people Logan mentioned to him years earlier. So there's a few more of these. I only got to K. Because this is a lot to digest. And, I think that this is going to take a little bit to get through, just to K anyway. So I stopped at K, and I'll let you know. I just, as an example, read to you all the way to G. So there's still H, I, and J, and K to go through, which I will go through when we get to them. I just don't want to make this intro too long. It's already 6 minutes in. So anyway, that is what this video is going to look at. For A through K, I'm going to be pulling cards and essentially taking a look at each of these to see, if what he's saying is truthful, if some of it's truthful, if it's just fabric. We're just going to look at the energy surrounding these allegations. Yeah. Because, we're just going to see. I don't know if I should divulge my full theory yet. I guess I mentioned it. I should at least say, okay. So this is what I'm thinking. And I keep thinking back to an early reading I did in this deep dive where I uncovered that it was almost as if the crime scene was staged to make it look sacrificial, ritualistic. But that energy that would be present, if that was the actual case, was not present. So that kind of always made me wonder. It's like I was seeing the structure of it, but not seeing the substance of it, like a ritual. So I'm just wondering, let's say that these unalivings were the product of child predators, okay? These alleged child predators are aware of the Odinistic element that is in that community, okay? They know that. They know it exists. What is stopping them from trying to frame that group of people? You know what I mean? I don't know. That is just a like something I'm mulling over in my head, okay? That's all it is. It's something that I'm mulling over in my head, and I just don't want to put any type of, I just want to try to remain unbiased is what my point is. But I am, it occurred to me. It just occurred to me, and it could make sense. But I'm hoping, oh, sorry, this is different. I'm hoping that we can, that might be clear looking at this. So that is what we're doing today. Now, before I get started, everything in this video is going to be alleged, in my opinion, based on the energy and the card meanings, not facts. So keeping that in mind, let's keep going. So I'm just going to put this off to the side. So to give us some space, we're going to be doing tarot, whispers, and tokens. And I know last reading, I said that I was going to pull some of these, and I forgot. I did say in the video that I might forget, and I did forget. So before I forget, let's just pull one right now. Alrighty. Give us one card that is going to be a clarifier for the information that is going to be divulged in this reading. Thank you. Interesting. The killer is out of the area. Killer is out of the area. So interesting. All right. Put this aside. Put this up here in the middle. Let's get started. Okay, so we're starting with A from the document. Ricci Davis was in the unique position of having both met Kegan Kline and Ron Logan during their stays at Newcastle. The Knight of Cups, a messenger. And the Nine of Wands. Survival is a matter of perseverance. So this is doing whatever you can to survive. Whatever you can to survive in the place that you're in. And then the Knight of Cups is a messenger. Delivering messages. Okay, let's get two more cards. So this is like, you're in prison. You got to work by a whole different set of rules in there. than you would outside. You're also going to be privy to information that you otherwise wouldn't necessarily be privy to if you weren't there, right? And that's what this is saying, you know, because he was in the same place as these other two people, Kline and Logan. He was at the right place at the right time to get that type of information. Now, did he use that information as survival? Probably. Do you really think that he is going to divulge this information without expecting anything in return? Like a shorter sentence or what have you? So this tells me Ricci's frame of mind once he realized the type of information he was privy to. He was like, how can I make this work for me in my survival of this place? He is certainly not the first criminal to do that, nor will he be the last. I can kind of, you know, even if he did want to do the right thing, he's still hoping, am I going to get rewarded for this? Okay, 2 cards fell out. The Knight of Swords. We've got 2 knights side by side. Hang on one sec. Okay. I'm back again, and I apologize. My phone didn't have enough room to record anymore, so I had to, delete some stuff, and I realized that I was talking for a good couple minutes after the video stopped. So, as you can tell here, we still have this row. Fired, royalty, life insurance, angels and ancestors. But we have another tarot, and that's the King of Swords. And I said that this King of Swords has been, just like the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Cups have been coming up in all of the past readings I've done on the Delphi. So, and King of Swords was for B, which is Ricci Davis talked with Ron Logan about the Delphi unalivings on multiple occasions. Over the course of time, Ron Logan confessed to his involvement in the unalivings along with 2 other people. 2 other people, the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Swords, Ron Logan, the King of Swords. And over these, ever since I started the Delphi Deep Dive, I've always been wondering, you know, how can I really figure out who is who, right? And I feel like we just did. I feel like Spirit is finally answering with the Angels and Ancestors card. Spirit is answering my queries about, you know, I need to figure out who is who, like all that. And they're coming through. Anytime I get this card, this is a direct help. This is direct help from the spirit side. So either my guides or maybe even one of the girls themselves. So And I don't know if you got it in the... I'm not sure if this part of the video was cut off, but what I was saying with these is, no, I don't think that he's being deceptive, but I definitely do think that he expects to get something out of this information. And I believe that was his intention all along. He stumbled across this information, and he's not going to let a chance pass him by. A chance of him maybe getting himself a lighter sentence or having this work in some sort of favor for Ricci Davis. He's not the first criminal to do it, and he certainly won't be the last. And I think life has taught him that, you know, that's the way things work. So, you know, especially like it said in that document that he, right before Richard Allen's trial started, Ricci Davis emailed on average around 8 emails to the prosecutor, Nick McClelland, about the information that he was privy to and what that meant regarding the case. Meaning that I know Richard Allen, who you're prosecuting, has nothing to do with it. This is who I know has something to do with it. And none of those emails were ever followed up on. Andrew Baldwin just heard about all of this last month on February 12th, 2025. So, that being said, I don't think that Ricci Davis, if it was made up information, I don't think he would have tried so hard to try to track down and get a hold of the prosecution's office. I think that if he was making it up, he may have tried a couple times, but not 8 times. So that kind of tells me that he knew that the information he had was very important. And even after Richard Allen's conviction, he still didn't give up. Like, he eventually got a hold of Andrew Baldwin. So I don't feel like I don't feel like he's making it up. But he is definitely not wanting to divulge this information for free. Let's just say that. Okay. Which I'm not surprised. And that's very common. Okay. So, Ricci Davis talked with Ron Logan about the Delphi murders on multiple occasions, and over the course of time, Ron Logan confessed to his involvement in the unalivings along with 2 other people. I believe that is the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Swords is the 2 other people, and Ron Logan is the King of Swords. So let's get the rest. King of Wands. This is another person that comes up. Okay. Now, I know Ron Logan is not like a high status member of the Delphi community. So I don't think this royalty card is representing him. Is it representing the King of Wands, though? Interesting. the Apprentice, the Eight of Pentacles, and then the Two of Swords, a dilemma. Over the course of time, Ron and Logan confessed. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. So Ron Logan is confessing this stuff while he's incarcerated, allegedly. Vision, honor, leadership, and ultimate masculine energy. Is this his boss? I wouldn't like it if he was flapping his gums. If I was his boss, or if I was above him in this predatory ring that he was a part of, okay? And I found out that he was flapping his gums, I'd work very hard, and that's what the Eight of Pentacles is representing, is very hard work to neutralize this potential risk. The Two of Swords is about a dilemma and about an indecision, and, you know, your dilemma is that potential risk. I know that they said that Ron Logan passed away due to COVID complications, but I can see many ways to make it look like that. He was elderly, so yeah, no, there's definitely ways you could make it look like that. I think so anyway. So, interesting. You know, because I always found it very convenient that he just died when he died. I'm like, isn't that convenient? Just dead. Okay. Let's get some whispers. And we'll see what comes up. Okay. Grandparent elder. Well, Ron Logan was definitely that age. Digital. Okay. Medical emergency. Interesting. Breakup, separation. Church. All right. Vision, honor, and leadership has to do, the church card has to do with the King of Wands. Grandparent elder has to do with the King of Swords. I believe this is referring to Ron Logan. Digital, as in a digital connection or a digital relationship. This could also represent the stuff that they, you know, like the pictures and stuff that they share via digitally. Medical emergency. We need to separate, as in separate from grandparent elder Ron Logan, his digital evidence. We need to use this medical emergency to separate from him so that we can be seen in higher light. Our hands were tied. We had to. You just had to. There's no honor among thieves. Remember that. In a service to self, mentality, or group, or whatever, you're only as good as how your importance and your survival are hell-bent on how much you are an asset to the other side. As soon as you become no longer worth it, you're cut out of the picture, literally. So that's why living that way is not sustainable. Anyway. C. During those conversations, Logan provided certain details of the crime that only the actual unaliver would know, but never divulged who the two people were. During those conversations, Queen of Cups, the World, and the Queen of Pentacles. So Ron Logan was very mindful about what he said. The Queen of Pentacles. Do you see how she has this mask on? It's like, I'm gonna tell you the truth, but I'm going to dress it up in a way that you can't identify. So, dressing up the truth to make it look a certain way or to hide identifying aspects to it. Because I don't think Ron could help himself. He couldn't help himself. I don't think that man was capable of shutting his mouth. So this is being very balanced emotionally, being very careful what he says, to not get triggered into releasing too much for the whole world to know. But knowing that the jig is up and that they were already onto him. Because the world is also about completion. It's about everything coming full circle and exposed for what it is. And then the Queen of Pentacles is the independence. This is him thinking he was secure. I'm going to be in control of what I'm saying, know what I'm saying, and how I'm saying it so that I can, so that I don't say too much, but, you know, like by not giving names or other details. And thinking that he is stable and secure and grounded enough to be able to do that and hide behind whatever, the way he was dressing it up, if that makes sense. Let's get some whispers. What can you tell me? Routine, habit, typical. He couldn't help himself. He needed, talking about it helped him relive the experience. Optical illusion in reverse. So no optical illusion. This is truth. Interesting. So we have secret trip on its side. As in, like, don't pay attention to the word trip. Just secret. That's what's important. Putting the secret out on its side. It's no longer upright, meaning it's if it was a secret, it would be upright. But it's no longer a secret because he divulged it. And it's not optical illusion. It's truth. He can't help himself. It was only a matter of time before he started spewing the truth. Give me some sort of confirmation. Very clear confirmation. Oh. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. That deserves a sip of tea. Yes. Okay. So I'm on the right track. Good. Let's keep going. D. In or around March 2024, Kegan Kline was placed in the same general area as Ricci Davis, and at some point apparently learned that Ricci Davis spoke with Logan. Over time, Kline began questioning Ricci Davis if Logan ever mentioned Kline's name to Davis. So basically, Kline wanted to know, Kline was like, oh shit, Ron's flapping his gums again. What the hell did he say? What the hell did he say? That was what's going through his head. So let's see what that says. The star shining light on an insatiable desire. The Seven of Pentacles, look upon my works. Look at what I've created. Look at my work. He's telling people, he's shining light on my work. He did not like that. The Moon, my dark secrets. Dark secrets coming to light. Ooh. Two opposing forces working together for a common goal. Two opposing forces would be Ron Logan talking to Ricci Davis as far as Kline was concerned. Nothing can stop the Chariot. Nothing can stop. Now that that happened, there was nothing that could have been done. It's like the dominoes are off and they're going. There's nothing you can do. Let's get some whispers. Oh my God. Ugh. We all know who that lovely mug is, don't we? Okay. And we all know what he did, don't we? This has nothing to freaking do with Odinists. They wanted... This has nothing to do with Odinists. This has to do with people like him. Water. What's the water? Oh, coming to the surface. Coming to the surface. A friend, and I think this is representing like somebody doing the right thing. Maybe not for the right reason. Like I said, I'm really feeling like it's extremely self-motivated. But so far, it's the only person like that at least is giving the proper information to the right people. You know what I mean? And I feel like because of that, they could be considered an ally. Ally, not friend, ally. I also think that this is kind of symbolically representing the girls, right? And I know there's 3 girls here, but what is the friend referring to? Sad, emotional. Psychic abilities and intuition. Oh. Yeah, so this is a confirmation from Libby. And I say this because she was her friend. And Libby's intuition was like extremely sharp. And I've heard this be said about her, that, and people have even mentioned about her having the presence of mind to get out that camera and film and act like she wasn't filming. So yeah, she's confirming that that is the case with all of this. Hidden network coming to the surface by the friend. She's extremely sad that this happened. Anything else that this Whispers can tell us about this? Anything else the Whispers can tell us about this? Timeline issues. Okay, and I'm specifically looking at the middle of the card, the 13th, the 14th. Ron's alibi doesn't make sense. So this is coming up for a reason. This wants us to re-examine the 13th, what he was doing. Okay, I'm going to make a note of that, because if I don't write it down now, I will forget. So, let's write that down. Do a separate reading into Ron Logan's alibi / timeline for Feb 13, 2017. Okay. That will be a different reading. But I need to be accountable to my forgetful memory. And okay. So. Okay. G. Over time, Kline began to reveal more information about the Delphi unalivings that corroborated details Ron Logan revealed years before to Davis. See what we can get for that. Over time, Kline began to reveal. We have the Four of Cups, the Page of Cups, the Fool, and the Ace of Swords. Overtime client. Okay. So over time, Kline began to reveal stuff that Ron Logan had already told him years before. Four of Cups is contemplation. Curiosity and intuition for the Page of Cups, plus the Page is like, kind of innocence. So he's contemplating the information that was given to him that piqued his curiosity, and that his gut feeling was telling him felt to be true. I mean, think of it. When somebody tells you a lie, unless they're extremely skilled at lying, you can kind of feel like whatever they're saying is off. Like, the truth has a feeling to it, and so does a lie, and they're very different. And I'm feeling like with this card, he felt that. He was like, this is like I seriously feel like this is true. And so the Fool is taking the beginning steps to seeking something out. So after he contemplated, and it piqued his curiosity, and he got that feeling of, oh my God, this feels true. He's taking the plunge. He's stepping off the cliff with that information. And the Ace of Swords, it's like, this is the beginning of something that is not going to be as easy as you thought it was going to be. Because the Ace of Swords is inspiration, so he's inspired to do the right thing. Like I said, maybe for selfish reasons, but he's still doing the right thing with the right information, bringing it to the right people. And sudden insight, like, oh, I suddenly have this insight based on contemplation. But challenges lie ahead. It's not going to make the story have a good ending, because there were challenges. There still are challenges ahead. Richard Allen was sentenced to 130 years in prison. So that was one of the main challenges, is that nobody's going to take this information seriously enough to actually do any good with it. Okay. Whispers. Home safety in reverse. Home safety. This is making me feel like maybe Ricci Davis doesn't feel very secure in jail. Let's see what else. Okay. So this is speaking directly to it looking, the crime scene looking the way it did, but also not looking the way it was meant to look. This is making me also feel that, like, a place that the girls felt were safe, like a very populated walking trail in the middle of the afternoon with all these other people there, was safe. And clearly it was not. It was meant to look like something it wasn't. Why is drugs and poison here? 110, a checkbox. Meeting the criteria, getting things done and verified. Meeting the drugs and poison, meeting the criteria, getting things done. Okay. This is what I'm getting with this. Okay. And this clicked everything into place, this one token. And then this also fell out as I grabbed this, and it says yes on it. And I felt like, okay, clearly I got to use that with whatever I choose. And remember how I initially said that Ricci Davis doesn't feel safe where he is? Based on the information he knows, he doesn't feel safe where he is. He's worried that something is going to happen that is going to involve drugs and poison, no surveillance, and somebody's going to abuse the system. That's what he's worried about. So I don't know if drugs are going to be planted on him and it's going to add on to his sentence. I don't know what he's in for. But the lack of surveillance, I mean, in a prison, there's cameras everywhere. There's no reason why something should go. There's no reason why something should happen without having CCTV footage of it. So that's where the abuse comes in. The abuse of the system, of the rules, so that they can get some sort of keeping him incarcerated for longer. That's what this feels like to me. Okay, let's keep going. H, some of the details Kline provided Ricci Davis are the types of details that could only be known by someone who was involved with the unalivings. Tower moment. Death and the sun. So some of the details Kline provided Ricci are the types of details that could only be known by the unalivers. Yes, so epiphany, this is the tower card in this case is representing an epiphany, as in the realization of knowledge that only a very small group of people would know, as in the unalivers, has to do with the deaths or the change of energy or, you know, the end of somebody's life and the beginning of this investigation. And the sun is shedding light on it. Let's get some whispers below ground level, so shedding light on things that are hidden. Burial. Interesting. So this is like not wanting to keep things below ground level, not up where the light of day can reach it. And then to bury something else. Political. Perhaps this person that is considered the royalty is political. Their role is political. And if their secrets were unearthed, what? Their secrets were unearthed, what? Major cleanup would need to happen. Fear. Wow. Fear of a meeting that is evil and demonic in nature about this. So I feel like if this person were to be exposed, many people would have this happen to them. So this person has very far reach. Very far reach. I don't know if any of you guys are from Indiana. They won't sabotage what they have built for themselves. That could never happen. This is almost like how you play the game. This can never happen in their eyes. Okay, these conversations between Ricci and Kegan Kline occurred all the way up through to Richard Allen's trial and up to the guilty verdict. These conversations between Ricci and Kegan occurred all the way up through Richard Allen's trial and up to the guilty verdict. The Ten of Pentacles, the gang's all here. As in, everybody involved is watching very closely. What was this going to be? Reunited and reconciled, the monster comes home. I'm wondering if this this King of Wands, who would have been Ron Logan's superior in all of this, and possibly the one with the political connection, allegedly. I'm wondering if he... Oh my God. Look. The killer is out of the area. And then here it says, the monster comes home. And we're specifically talking about right up to the guilty verdict. So did this person go out of the area until the coast was clear, until Richard Allen was behind bars and convicted? And does this said person have direct pull with the prosecution's office and the judge? Because it has been very apparent that Judge Gull is biased. I'm sorry. I don't see any way, like, that is my impression, is she's biased. The way she treated the defense team, that she's biased. How she acted towards the prosecution in open court. Like, just how she spoke to them, how her mannerisms were, like, it was clearly she was favoring the prosecution. So does this person with political power have pull, and that knew that they had the right people working to try to send an innocent man to jail so that they could come back? The monster comes home when the coast is clear. Give me a clarifier if that is true. The lovers. Yeah. The lovers. Love is grand, but it always leads to trouble. If the card was in reverse, I would say, okay, no, I'm wrong, but it was upright. Let's get some whispers. What else can you say about what I just said? Yeah. Okay, we've got J and K left. Not knowing whether Richard Allen could be the third person involved. Not knowing whether Richard Allen could be the person involved in the murders, Ricci Davis asked Kline whether Richard Allen was the third person. Kline replied that Richard Allen was not the third person and had nothing to do with the murders. Okay. Exhaustion. Now this person is sleeping with a sword next to her bed. Knight of Wands, this is impulse and inspired action, like no, we can relax. We have people in place to do the certain action so that we can isolate and restrict Richard Allen. We have everything that he does not have. We have all of the tools and resources and everything we would need to be able to manifest what we want. Manifest our form of justice. It's friggin' disgusting. I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe it. Like, my God. It's so messed up that we're raised to believe that our world works in a certain way, but then when you grow up, you find out that it literally works completely opposite, but secretively. It's bullshit. And it's wrong, and it's something each and every single one of us needs to make sure does not happen. Like, this is terrifying that you could be living your best life, thinking you're doing the right thing by saying, yeah, I was here when this horrible thing happened, but, you know, I'm just letting you know so you can eliminate me, and then have it used against you. Yeah, success. It worked. And the missing key is the fact that they produced, this is all bullshit. Private property. It happened on Ron Logan's private property. Because of his connections to that other royalty-like figure, political royalty figure, that is why he was never charged to begin with. Okay. Last one, guys. It's been a long one. I'm sorry. Kline further revealed to Davis that Kline and Logan knew each other through the sharing. Kline further revealed to Davis that Kline and Logan knew each other through the sharing of child stuff that they shared on burner phones, and that Kline and Logan would meet up every 3 months so Kline could assist Logan with using the phones because Logan was inept at using technology because he's old. No offense to older people. I did not mean to sound rude or insensitive or anything. I apologize. But I help my mom with the exact same thing every day. Okay. Oh my gosh. So we have the devil energy. This is sex, obsession, unhealthy urges. The Ace of Wands is the beginning of a plan. And the Seven of Cups is the deception of, or the covering, or the skewing, making something look like something it's not. So their relationships, started with this unhealthy dark impulse that is enslaving them, essentially. And that they have a lot of ideas and passion to see the growth of their, I don't know, whatever they want to do. And yeah, the Seven of Cups is, how can we do this? Well, actually, this is making me more think about that Anthony Shots profile. So, showing something, but it not really being what it looks like Anthony Shots, you know? Because when you look at Anthony's, the picture of the model that he used, and then you look at Kegan Kline, and you're like, one of these things is not like the other, is it? Okay, let's get some whispers. Red flag. Yep. DNA. Interesting. So it says, if in doubt, don't go out. And I feel like there was a red flag that may have tipped Libby off, but didn't tip Abby off. And it was like Libby was there because I think Abby was going to go regardless of what Libby told her, if she even did. But let's say, hypothetically speaking, Libby warned and said, yeah, I don't know about this guy. Like, how do you even know it's really him? Abby was going to go regardless. So it's all, I'm feeling like Libby's like, oh, well, I'll go. But if it was up to me, we'd be staying home. Allegedly, my opinion. DNA. Again, okay, so some sort of, so we have a DNA double helix, and we have it here too. And DNA and has everything to do with these three things. There's a red flag pertaining to DNA or the chemical process in which the DNA was collected. Anything more that you want to say about that? Imprisonment. So, I'm feeling like if something didn't happen with this process, a DNA found would have landed somebody in jail. Follow the money, but in reverse. As in, looking for some sort of financial trail, like who paid off who, won't, isn't the issue here. Child. Okay, guys. Wow, I I'm not going to lie, for the past few readings, I've been really like feeling like I've been swimming in this convoluted mess that I haven't really been able to make too much sense out of until now. This is what I was waiting for. I was waiting for a reading like this to unblock a bunch of stuff, and it did. And now I feel like I have a handle on what happened. Kind of. Anyway, that is it for right now. Stay tuned for the next one where I will be addressing some subscriber questions. So stay tuned for that. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I will see you back real soon. If you've just joining me and you like the content, please consider subscribing. It's very, it really makes a difference to the health of my channel. And, yeah, I would be very grateful if you could do that. If you like the video, please also give a thumbs up. That helps the algorithm. It's all part and parcel of subscribing and liking and sharing. So if you do that, I'd be so grateful. And I will see you soon.